song called Heartaches, written in 1931, recorded by the Ted Weems Orchestra in 1938, and a huge hit for him 9 years later. For it was in 1947 that a disc jockey in the States found a copy of the 1938 Ted Weems recording and played it more or less as a joke. Listener reaction was immediate, so he kept on playing the record until it was picked up by other stations and finally became a bestseller. Well, that was the first time that many people had heard of Ted Weems, but he'd been popular years before, and tonight in Sentimental Journey we're playing some of the recordings the Weems Orchestra made between 1926 and 1931. A performer named May Singy Breen started her career as the ukulele lady on radio in the 1920s, and later she teamed with husband Peter DeRose to compose songs. This one, entitled Marvelous, was recorded by Ted Weems and his orchestra in August 1927.
About my girl, don't know the color of her eyes, I'm not certain about her size, I only know one word that sure describes her: marvelous, 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 outrageous. And when she puckers up her lips so sweet, she's got that brand of kisses can't be beat. I think she's marvelous. Marvelous, she's wonderful. Boys all of her soul, they're out of luck, you see. She's mine exclusively. Sweet, sweet, marvelous girl.
Marvelous, sung by Dusty Rhodes and Parker Gibbs. Gibbs not only vocalized with Ted Weems from 1925 to the late 30s, but also played tenor sax in the orchestra. Parker was vocalist again on the 1928 recording of Come On Baby, a fairly normal title for a song written by Archie Gottler, who had already composed a couple of little gems called Would You Rather Be a Colonel with an Eagle on Your Shoulder or a Private with a Chicken on Your Knee? And, wait for this one, Oogie Oogie Wah Wah. Now, why don't we hear songs like that these days? Fortunately for Parker Gibbs, when Archie Gottler teamed with Sidney Clare and Maceo Pinkard, Come On Baby was the result.
tell me that you're glad you found me. Come on and put your arms around me. Oh, baby, come on. By looking in your eyes, I surmise this is my chance. I can see this will be a heavy romance. Come on, because I can't resist you. I won't be happy till I've kissed you. Come on, because I can't resist you. Oh, baby, come on. When I'm beside you, my heart is gone. Come on and let your conscience guide you. Oh, baby, come on.
Ted Weems Orchestra was particularly popular in the States in the late 20s and early 30s. Ted himself was a fine musician. While still in high school, he'd played violin in the West Philadelphia Symphony, and during his days at the University of Pennsylvania, had been a trombone player in a local dance band. He formed his own band around 1923, and it was 4 years later that From Saturday Night to Sunday Morning was recorded. Parker Gibbs is again the vocalist.
What do they do from Saturday night till Monday morning? They go away and spend their week's pay from Saturday night till Monday morning. Take a fishing trip without the wife. They can have the time of their life. But when they walk in, it's where have you been? From Saturday night till Monday morning.
From Saturday night to Monday morning, 24 hours longer than we first thought. That was a song written by Al Dubin before he joined forces with composer Harry Warren. The Ted Weems Orchestra performed sort of semi-hot and dance-style music with great warmth and enthusiasm, and they were particularly popular for novelty tunes, like Mysterious Mose.
Now there's a man of mystery that's roaming through the land. Far and near you hear of him, he's found on every hand. Every city, town, and village knows of him by now. There's a way to recognize him, and I'll tell you how. If your path at midnight dark by the graveyard goes, and someone whistles, why that's Mysterious Mose. Or on some dark and stormy night, while the tempest blows, if someone whistles, why that's Mysterious Mose. He sees all, he knows all, he gets it everywhere. Why some night he might wait for you upon the stairs. So when you're going down the cellar, walk upon your toes. And if someone whistles, why that's Mysterious Mose. Now if you're in a haunted house and a groan comes from below, oh, that's Mysterious Mose. And if you feel a clammy hand clutching at your clothes, oh, that's Mysterious Mose. The detectives are defective when it comes to tracing him, but I'll bet you he'll get you if you don't look out for him. For every time you hear a shriek, everybody knows if someone whistles, that's Mysterious Mose.
Look out, he's right behind you. Members of the Ted Weems Orchestra joined Parker Gibbs singing Mysterious Mose. Gibbs was one of the most personable and talented members of the Weems band, playing clarinet and tenor saxophone, and raising his pleasant voice on such songs as this typical 1920s one, She'll Never Find a Fellow Like Me.
let her go. I want her and you to know she'll never find a fellow like me. I won't cry, I don't care, let her travel anywhere. She'll never find a fellow like me. You couldn't name a gift I didn't bring. Got her simply everything. She's still got my diamond ring. Let's not speak of that. Let her go far and wide. I enjoyed the buggy ride. She'll never find a fellow like me.
Ted Weems played trumpet in his brother Ted's orchestra for many years, and he was one of the personnel on the recording of Slappin' That Bass, made in Chicago in 1930.
Oh, slap, slap, slap that bass. He's getting hot, no time to waste. Instrument you hear in every band that used to be played with a bow, but now it's played by hand. It's against all music rules, all music schools may say, but I don't give a rap. I love the way they slap that grown-up baby today. Do I fall for the little fiddle man? Not at all, but I'm off my noodle when someone is slapping the bass. On my soul, I'm as tickled as can be, self-control. Never have it when I see someone a-slapping the bass. It may look out of place in a swell organization, but folks, without a bass, there isn't a bit of foundation. Oh, me, oh my, but it's pleasing to the ear, and I fly right to heaven when I hear someone a-slapping the bass. Sets the pace. It's the man who slaps the bass. Oh, slap that big fiddle for me. He never rustles up his bow, yet he always stops the show. Oh, slap that big fiddle for me.
Country Washburn was the bass player who was slapping that bass. Washburn handled the odd vocal on many a Weems recording, but not on that particular one. Parker Gibbs once again had that honour. Drummer Dusty Rhodes joins Parker on Chick, 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 Chicken, Lay a Little Egg for Me, an English novelty song that Ted Weems heard, liked, and recorded. Oh, the subtlety of English humour. After all those chickens and eggs, there must be washing up to face. But that's quite a pleasant task if it's done with the one you love.
At the kitchen sink. Oh gosh, I get so excited, I can hardly think. I get a mouthful of soap, son, but they taste good to me. As long as my sweetie's by my side, doing the dishes with me. Now there's no moonlight or a June night, but I'm telling you, I get lovin' near the oven when there's dishes to do. We do things that we hadn't oughta. We hold hands underneath the water, washing dishes with my sweetie at the kitchen sink. dishes, still I'm never blue. I'm not fretting, I get petting when there's dishes to do. Knives and forks and spoons never hinder, pots and pans go out of the window. Washing dishes with my sweetie at the kitchen sink.
Parker Gibbs was washing dishes with my sweetie. And next he sings Cobblestones. This song was written in 1927 by Sidney Clare, who had already tasted success with Then I'll Be Happy and I'd Climb the Highest Mountain. And later on he wrote On the Good Ship Lollipop for Shirley Temple.
Now all my clothes are worn, my shoes are torn. Step by step each cobble brings me through. I know I'm on the rocks and hard knocks. Now I can see each one of them is a gem shining for me. Oh, can't you get me there? Dear my friend, oh cobblestone, walk my bones, lead me to my home in the hills.
Country Joe Washburn was one of the featured stable of popular singer-instrumentalists who were given a start by Ted Weems. In later years of his long career, Ted Weems was to set Perry Como on the path to stardom. But just reverting back to Country Washburn, he was a tuba and string bass player, and he also wrote novelty songs, many of them recorded by the Weems Orchestra.
Talk about rhythm and how it affects the mind. Well, some folks like a dreamy waltz, some like another kind. Well, some still cry for the hoedown. They claim that it makes them shout. But listen to me, and you will see that the best one's been left out. I love that jig time. I gotta have that jig time. Please give me that jig time. All the rest of my days. Well, first to get low down, jump up and then go down.
Keep going but slow down at the jig time craze. Well, that rhythm makes you sigh and it drives you wild. It makes you cry just like a child. Well, makes you say, oh, look what you done to me now. I love that jig time. I gotta have that jig time. Please give me that jig time all the rest of my day. Throw your hands in the air and shout. We must take away every doubt. Well, let's tell them what it's all about. Oh, we got the jig time craze.
That's jig time.
Jig Time, composed and sung by Country Washburn during his days as a member of the Ted Weems Orchestra. One of the orchestra's biggest hits was Phil Baxter's novelty, Piccolo Pete, written and recorded in 1929 and sung by, who else? Parker Gibbs.
Now put you wise, that's a bird in disguise, a bird called Piccolo Pete. Did you ever hear Pete go tweet, tweet, tweet on his piccolo, huh? No? Well, you've missed a lot, 'cause he surely has got style that's hotter than hot. Did you ever hear Pete go tweet, tweet, tweet on his piccolo? No? Well, you've missed a treat, 'cause his melodies sweet are the kind that couldn't be beat. He can pick a high note, he can pick a low note, he can pick a blue note, he can pick a note that's a brand new note. Did you ever hear Pete go tweet, tweet, tweet on his piccolo? No? Well, I put you wise, he's a bird in disguise, a bird called Piccolo Pete. Did you ever hear Pete go on his piccolo? No. Did you ever hear Pete go on his piccolo? He can pick a high note, he can pick a low note, he can pick a blue note, he can pick a note that's a brand new note. Did you ever hear Pete go on his piccolo? No. Did you ever hear Joe go whoop, whoop, whoop on his old bass horn? There. Did you ever hear Dick do some of his tricks on his little peck horn? Well. Did you ever hear Watt getting hot, hot, hot on his clarinet? There. Once again, Pete, Piccolo Pete.
Phil Baxter followed his 1929 novelty, Piccolo Pete, with something called Harmonica Harry, but that one didn't enjoy the same popularity. Red Ingle joined Ted Weems in the early 30s as a clarinet, violin and tenor saxophone player. Red went on to perform vocals with Weems and later joined Spike Jones' band in many a zany number. However, on this 1931 recording of Play That Hot Guitar, Red just merely got to play clarinet and tenor sax.
Eddie was a fellow rather steady till he bought himself a new guitar. He learned to play a hot guitar. Now Eddie is a radio star. Eddie was afraid, to play before the radio until he bought a new guitar. Oh, Eddie, get your new guitar. Now if you're ready, we are. Play that hot guitar, oh Mr. Play just one more bar. Those single strings and harmonies, those funny strains and melodies. My feet can't behave, all I can do is rant and rave and just a rhythm loving play. When you play the hot guitar, won't you hit one string, hit it and then just let it ring. Take your pick, piccolo, bass, lick, quick. After beats are sweet when you can play them off the beat. Oh, mister, what a man you are when you play the hot guitar.
Ted Weems Orchestra and a 1931 recording of Play That Hot Guitar. Now here's Ted Weems with his version of the 1928 hit song, You're the Cream in My Coffee, a song that came from a Broadway show called Hold Everything and had been performed by Jack Whiting and Ona Munson. Remember her as Belle Watling in Gone with the Wind?
salt in my stew. You will always be my necessity, I'd be lost without you. You're the starch in my collar, you're the lace in my shoe. You will always be my necessity, I'd be lost without you. Most men tell love tales, and each phrase dovetails. You've heard each no way, this way is my own way. You're the sail of my love boat, you're the captain and crew. You will always be my necessity, I'd be lost without you.
You're the Cream in My Coffee from the Ted Weems Orchestra. It dates back to 1928, that song, so it's just possible that that version of You're the Cream in My Coffee is the one that Marlene Dietrich was familiar with. If you ever heard her tell that story, she does it on record about auditioning around the time of The Blue Angel, her big start in movies. Not her first film, but her big starring film that made her a world star. And she sang You're the Cream in My Coffee as an audition song before she got the role. So that I don't think she probably sang it in that style. She sang it a lot slower when she illustrated it on the record. However, let's get back to Ted Weems. Country Washburn was another member of the Ted Weems Orchestra who later joined in the merriment and mayhem of the Spike Jones Orchestra. It was while he was still with Ted Weems, though, that Washburn wrote the smash hit, Oh Mona. An impression of a Deep South revivalist meeting, the title refers to one of the congregation, a mourner, for whose soul the other mourners are praying. It is not concerned with a girl named Mona, thereby exploding one of my cherished myths of many years. And actually, most people, even back in 1931 when the song was written, were convinced that it was.
Sitting on the low, had his finger on the trigger and his eye on the hole. Oh, the gun said boo and the hog went flip, and the preacher grabbed him with all his grip. Oh, my Mona, you shall be free, Lordy, Lordy. Oh, my Mona, you shall be, yes, you shall be free. When the good Lord sets you free. down the road. Had a tired team and a heavy load. Oh, I popped my whip and the lead horse brown, and the hind horse busted the wagon tongue. Well, my Mona, you shall be free, Lordy, Lordy. Oh, my Mona, you shall be, yes, you shall be free, when the good Lord set you free. Well, I was down behind the hen house on my knees, and I thought I heard a chicken sneeze. Oh, it sneezed so hard with a whooping cough, that he sneezed his head and it fell right off. Well, my Mona, you shall be free, Lordy, Lordy. Let me, Mona, you shall be, yes, you shall be free, when the good Lord set you free.
Arthur Jarrett joined Ted Weems late in 1927 as a vocalist, trombonist, guitarist, and he stayed with the orchestra until 1931. He and Parker Gibbs seemed to enjoy singing The Man from the South, originally recorded in Chicago in December 1929.
Oh, I met that man from the South. Oh, I met that man from the South. Had a big cigar in his mouth, so I knew he's from the South. Say, Jared, what did your wife say when she left you?
I'll sue you later. Say, Gibby, what do you think of bathing girls?
I don't know. I never bathed one.
Oh, I met that man from the South. Oh, I met that man from the South. Had a big cigar in his mouth, so I knew he's from the South. Oh, it is. Oh,
If you've been enjoying this Ted Weems music, I'll give you details of the record after this last one. Parker Gibbs and Arthur Jarrett joined forces again on our last selection of music recorded by Ted Weems between 1926 and 1931. Ted Weems also took a hand in writing this one, fittingly named My Favorite Band.
fascinating about a trumpet. Something about a saxophone that sure is grand. Gee, how I like to hear that old slide trombone. Stop, look, and listen to my favorite band. And when they swing into the dancing rhythm, it's mighty hard to beat. It brings you just a little nearer heaven, goes through your dancing feet. Just linger on the notes of that old bass horn. There is the hottest clarinetist in the land. Gee, how that man can play a grand piano. Stop, look, and listen to my favorite band.
Wait a minute, you fellas. You know we have to rehearse this band today, so get your horns and sound your A. Now, better pay attention to what I do. Play back at me what I sing to you. Are you ready? Doodle-doodle-da-da-do. Oh, la-da-da-do. La-da-da-da-do. Da-wa. Wa-da-dee-dee-da-da-do. Diddle-da-do. Diddle-da-da-da-da-do. Well, that sounded pretty good to me, but let's try it now in a higher key.
And that's just about all in this week's Sentimental Journey. If you've enjoyed this music we've been playing in the last hour of Ted Weems and his orchestra, comes from an English album under the title Marvellous, one of the songs on the album. It's one of the smaller English labels under the title Living Era. The number is AJA 5029. It's you'd probably have to have it specially brought into Australia. It was brought to us by Kevin Daly, who put the whole album together. Kevin Daly, now of the Slightly Out to Lunch comedy show. Once for a while, producer of Sentimental Journey. So, next Saturday, we plan to bring you in Sentimental Journey an hour of music by English composer Noel Gay, and a segment we're calling Ella Sings with a Row of Dots. Until then, meet the dots with John West and our writer-producer Helen Richards next week. We hope you have a happy week. ABC Radio 1 and Radio 3. Eastern Time is 10 o'clock.